Alright guys, this part is about cleaning up the fretboard now. The frets has been leveled, recrowned and polished, and now it's time to bring some life back to the fretboard itself here. And as you can see, I've just gone ahead and just scraped the first 3 frets here. And as you can see, there's quite a difference between the first 3 frets here and the next ones. The first 3 frets here are, to me at least, a lot more naturally looking, whereas the other frets, they're more dark, and that to me just looks like there's a lot of gunk and dirt within the fretboard and the wood itself, and I would just like to clean the wood up and just bring back some new life to it. And the way I'm going to do that is simply by taking a razor blade here, or a knife blade from a hobby knife or something like that, just making sure that it's a sharp one. And the way I'm going to do it is that I'm going to place the blade on the fretboard, and I'm just going to gently scrape across the fretboard. And that's what I've done on the first frets here. And later I'm going to run a bit of sandpaper over it just to smoothen it up even more, and then lastly I'm going to put some oil on it, and that's basically going to put back in some of the dark color of the fretboard itself. So I'm not worried about that right now. And as far as the first frets go, they're actually a lot smoother and nicer than the ones I haven't scraped yet. So that just goes to say that taking care of the fretboard itself is actually a quite important task to do. And at least as it is right now, and as I told you, I'm just going to set up this guitar and adjust it as much as I can, and therefore I'm going to do the fretboard too. I just want to run through this whole guitar so that I can be 100% sure that I've been cleaning and polishing and adjusting every possible piece of this guitar, so it looks nice and it plays nice, and it's just going to be a lot easier to set up and adjust, a lot easier for me to know that I've actually put a lot of work into this. And when I'm done, I'm just going to know that this guitar plays as good as it's going to be. And of course, when I get it strung up and adjusted the way I liked it and plugged it in and played it, I will notice if there should be anything with the frets, if they're too low and they need to be changed. So I'll know that when I'm completely done. But I'll just show you the method that I'm using for the clean here. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And basically I'm just going to place it just straight up, and I'm just gently going to scrape it back and forth here. And it's actually easy to see how far you've come when you do this, because the wood itself is actually going to be revealed a lot more, and it's easy to watch your progress. So I'm just going to scrape here, and just make sure that you don't accidentally scrape into the binding itself, because the binding is fine as it is, so we don't want to touch that. Just want to take out the gunk and the dirt from the fretboard itself here. Just wipe away the dust here. And again, with almost all guitar work, this is not something that requires using a lot of force. It's just taking the blade here and just actually letting the blade do the work itself, and that's just going to be it. Just going to move the camera a little bit so I can work. Sorry. Yeah. Just like that. I'm just going to take the rest of the brown area here. And you can easily see how far I've come. I just need this little area over here. And when I go right up against the sides here, I have a little bit. I'm just going to place the blade and just scrape away, and that's just going to take some of the hard spots. As you can see, I basically removed all of the darker spots and areas, and you can easily see it compared this one to this one. So that's just really great, and I'm basically just going to continue on the rest of the fretboard here, and just do as I explained here, and just I'll take my vacuum cleaner at some point and just take out all of the scrapings here. Also makes it easier because you'll have some of the wood to get in the way of your work here if you don't vacuum it off. So just keep your workspace nice and tidy. So I'm just going to continue scraping the fretboard, and then I'll be back when we have to use the sandpaper and when we have to oil the fretboard. So just stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon. Alright guys, so as I said previous, I was just going to continue scraping the fretboard with the razor blade, and I did that. So now it's time to go over the fretboard with some 1200 grit sandpaper. And right now the fretboard itself is actually quite smooth. That's quite an improvement from before, but I just like to just touch it up with the 1200 grits of sandpaper, and then after that we're going to put some oil on it. So I've just cut out some small pieces of 1200 grit sandpaper here, and I'm just going to run it along the grain of the sandpaper. I'm not going to run it across because that would be against the grain. So I'm just going to run it with the grain down here, and of course I'm not going to run it over the fret. I'm just trying to keep it within the fret itself. So I'm just going to do it like this. And it basically it doesn't take long for the sandpaper to just touch up the frets here, so it's not something that we have to do for very long. So just basically couple of strokes, and then I usually move on. So, and this, I just find that doing this is just going to smooth up the frets even more, and kind of also make it a little easier to make the board absorb the oil that we're going to put on it. So that's the reason why I do this. So, and I just thought that while I was at it, I wanted to make a good job. So I know that when I'm done, I've done what I can, and the guitar is going to play its absolute best. Alright, so I'm just going to continue doing this, and when I'm done, it's time to apply the oil to the fretboard. So I'll be back when it's time. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I just finished up using the sandpaper, running it along the grain of the fretboard here, and now it's actually time to put some oil on the fretboard. And I'm just going to use some Dunlop 65 Ultimate Lemon Oil, and that's just going to bring out a fine dark color in the wood here. And so I'll shake the bottle and use the applicator in the on the bottle here, as you see, and I'm just going to take it a place just get a little bit out here. And then I'll start rubbing that just like that, and I just continue to put a little dab on the fretboard here. Just like that, and we're just going to rub it in here. Alright, so now that I've applied this, I'm just going to let it settle just a few seconds here, and I'm just going to go over it with the clean side of the cloth here, and just make sure that I take out the excess of the lemon oil here, and right away you can start to see the improvement. The wood is now looking so much more alive to me, and compared to before, where it was kind of more light, a light color to it, it is now regained its darker woody color, and I just think that looks really cool. So I'm just going to take the clean side of the cloth and just take it over the frets again, and just take out the excess of the oil. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is actually to clean up some of the hardware, and the hardware that were on the guitar, the original hardware, had a lot of corrosion and grime from being played. So we're going to take a look at that in the next video, and then we can start setting up the instrument, and I'm looking forward to playing it, because I'm really excited to hear what it sounds like. So this is it for now, guys. So I'll be back later. Bye bye.